Hey guys, Joe Dyson here. I'm going to introduce you guys to some of my favorite games throughout MildaCon. One of them happens to be Sushi Go. It's a great game for all ages. There's just very minimal math involved. The instructions are super easy, and we're actually going to show you some of the basic layout of the game and some gameplay. So appreciate you joining us here for the first virtual MildaCon. Join me for MildaCon and learning how to play Sushi Go. I'm going to just go over some of the rules, teach you how to play, and then we're going to go into some gameplay just to kind of see if you guys understand what's going on. First off, what you want to do is you're going to want to look at your instruction booklet. It's going to tell you for the number of people that are playing how many cards actually deal out per turn. So since there's 4 of us, it's going to be 8 cards per turn. So I'm going to deal out 8 cards per person. You're going to lift up your cards. You're going to see all these different kinds of sushi, and you get to pick one. You're all going to flip over your card to show everyone around what you actually selected. And then you're going to pick up the deck that has now 7 cards. Pick one, put it down, give it to the next person. So basically it's going to go all the way around until all the cards are gone out of the 8. Make sense? Yep. In order to score points, you're going to go through the different kinds of sushi. So we have here a maki roll. And what happens is, as you put these down, you're going to get points based upon who has the most of these at the end. Since if I take the maki and I pick that one and I put it down, I'll have 1 point. I'll have one of these maki. At the end, it says in the bottom right, it says the most gets 6 points and the least has 3. So at the end of the game, like if for instance if I chose 2 of those, there's 3 makis. So if everyone else only has 1, or they have 2, then you get the 6 points. If you have the second most, you get the 3 points. So sashimi, the next one I'll explain to you. See how it says times 3 right here in the bottom right equals 10 points? You have to get 3 of this card in order to get the 10 points. So it's also strategic in thinking where, okay, I might have my deck of cards, the initial one, and I might have 1, but then the next one that comes around that someone gives me might not have any. If you don't get 3, you get 0 points. Tempura has the same idea, it has times 2. So that means that you have to get 2 of these in order to get the 5 points. These little cute little guys, these little gyoza, see how it has these numbers? It says 1, 3, 6, 10, 15. So as you collect more of them, the more points you get. So for one of these, if I only have 1, it's only worth 1 point. But if I have 2, then I get 3 points. If I have 3 of them, then I have 6 points. 4 of them, 10, and 5, 15. So if you notice everyone else is kind of going for sashimis or tempuras, and you're like sneakily getting all these dumplings, end up being worth a lot of points in the end. So wasabi. It says next nigiri times 3. So if you pick up a wasabi, itself is not worth any points. However, nigiri, which can be the egg nigiri, the salmon nigiri, or the squid nigiri, whatever you put on top of this, you get times 3 for that number of points. Put these down by themselves. So if you just put down the egg nigiri, you only get 1 point. But you can't put down the egg nigiri and then later put down the wasabi and get times 3. This has to come first. And the only caveat with this is whatever nigiri you choose, you have to put on here. So you can't say, oh, I'm going to wait for the squid so I get 9 points. And I'm going to put my egg one here. If you pick one of these nigiri, it has to go on your wasabi. Pudding, you don't get any points for this until the very end of the entire game. So whoever gets the most puddings gets 6 points. So you might collect 1 every round, and then you'll say, okay, at the end I had 4 puddings at the end of the game. Because the bad part is if you have the least amount, you get negative 6 points. And then the whole point of Sushi Go, the chopsticks. So say for instance, you decide to pick up the chopsticks in your hand, you put them down, you pass. The next round that you get, you say Sushi Go, you pick up your chopsticks, and you're able to pick 2 instead of 1. Do you guys have any questions? So let's go through a game. You'll be able to see how it really works, and we'll answer any questions that you have. And hopefully you'll learn a new game that you're excited about. All right, as discussed, because the number of players we had, it said to deal out 8 cards per player. And so we have our 8 cards. Go ahead and pull them up. We'll look at our hands. Okay, and so what I'm seeing is, I have the maki, I have some nigiri, I have the tempura, and I have the dumplings. And so now I have to think, okay, this is early in the game. For the tempura, I have to have 2 to get 5 points. And 5 points is like middle of the road. It's pretty good for a first set. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my tempura, choose that as my first card, take the rest of the cards and put them down to my left. So that way that player to my left knows that I'm ready to go. And I'll hold this one up and I'll wait for the rest of the folks to be done picking their cards. All right, and now I've seen that, this pile's here, and then we'll do some sort of indication for everyone to try with the cards. Usually it's like a 1, 2, 3, go. So 1, 2, 3. And so now as I look around, we have someone that's chosen a wasabi. We have 2 people that have the highest number of mackies, which is 3. So that's an indication to me that, okay, I might not have the most mackies this game. And so when I look at the next group of cards, maybe I won't choose a mackie. But I also know that now he's got a wasabi, and he has, since it's early in the game, there's a very good possibility I'll just skip it. So he'll get 9 points if he puts that down. So let's go ahead and pick up our next set of cards, look at what we have. All right, and so I got lucky because there's another tempura. But as you can see, there's some more dumplings and then nigiri, and it looks like nobody was really going for sashimi, which are big points. But I also have to think. So if I pick this and I need 3 to get the 10 points, will this card still be around? And are there 2 other ones in case someone selects this? So we'll have to keep that in mind. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select the tempura, so it'll be my second one, and I'll get the 5 points. I'll put the rest of the cards together, off to the side. Everybody's ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. And once again, you kind of look around the board, see what everybody's got. It looks like one person's going for more maki, so they want to get the 6 points. Another person's looking at puddings, which is in for the long game. So he's looking at something that's going to prevent him from getting that negative 6 points in the end. And then we have someone who has chosen the sashimi. So those are monster points that we have to look out for. All right, here's my next set of cards. We got a few nigiri. It looks like we have the squid one, which is worth 3, a couple puddings, and a 1 maki. So this really isn't going to help me in the game because someone else already has 5, one person already has 3. The puddings I'm not too concerned about yet because we still have a few games to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the nigiri, which is an automatic 3 points. 1, 2, 3. So currently, before I pick up these cards, I have 5 plus 3 points. So I have 8 points. Cards. And you'll keep repeating this process until all the cards are gone. At one point, you're going to have no cards left. Everyone just have 1 card, and you automatically have to play that. So for this one, I see some dumplings. I see some maki. As I look at this, I think, okay, so I can get 2 points for nigiri. I can get 1 point for dumpling, but they also stack. And I remember seeing dumplings in a bunch of the other hands. So for me, the best thing to get is just I'm gonna get some more points. So I'm gonna get the nigiri and get 2 points. So now when I look around, it looks like we have 2 folks that are gonna be battling it out for the most maki, and that's fine with me because they're gonna be. One's going to get 6 points, one's going to get 3 points. So we'll see what happens at the end. But I also noticed that across the way, someone has doubled their nigiri by dipping it in wasabi. So now that's actually worth 6 points rather than the 2 points. So here's my next set of cards. So I have a dumpling, which is worth the 1 point. And then I have nigiri, which is worth 1 point, and the same nigiri, which is worth 2. So we have this tempura, but I can't remember seeing another one. So I'm kind of weary about taking that one because I don't want to be stuck with something and get 0 points if it doesn't have a match. So I'm gonna pick the nigiri again. 1, 2, 3. All right. Okay, so I'm seeing that someone got another sashimi. They're close to getting the 10 points. And so this is where a lot of people will think you're the other person. but I'm still focused on points, so I'm gonna take the dumpling and see where that gets me. 1, 2, 3. Alright, cards. And now I really don't have much of a choice. It's one or the other, so then they're the same thing. And so, one, we pass, and then since there's only one card left, you automatically get this. And hey, I'm okay with the pudding. And at the end of the round, what you'll do is you'll count your points. So for me, the pudding's not worth any points till the end. The egg nigiri's worth 1, so that's 1 point. Got the squid nigiri, which is worth 3, so that's 4. I have 2 of the salmon nigiri, which are 2 points each, so that's 8. And then I have 1 dumpling, which is 9. And then I have 5 points for 2 tempuras. So I have 14 points, sorry. So 14 points for me. And what you'll do is you'll calculate everyone's points, write them down, and you'll also keep your pudding. So once you counted your points, you'll pick your cards up, put them together, and those cards go to the side. And you'll keep your pudding off to the side so that way you know how many you have in the end. So guys, go ahead and count your points. And so she wasn't able to get her final sashimi, so it's worth 0 points. And that's where that big risk comes in. Same thing with the tempura, she just got stuck with it. She was looking to get the most money. Looks like she just barely missed out. And that's okay, because like I said, big risk, big reward. So you guys put your cards together, we'll put them in the discard pile, keep any puddings that you have off to the side.
How many puddings total are there in the deck?
You know, I'm not sure.
A bunch.
That's a good point.
I can start grabbing some.
Yeah.
I thought they went back.
There's not an infinite. I believe there's like 10 or something like that.
Okay.
But it's not an infinite amount, and so there's very limited. So once somebody gets like 6, you're like, oh, okay, that person is probably going to get the 6 points.
I just need more than at least.
Exactly. And then there's also like kind of like Uno or other things like that where there's house rules as well. You can say, okay, well, we tied for the least amount, so we split the -6. We each get -3. Or some people will say, oh no, you both take -6. Or you know, you can change it up to fit your family or your house rules. That's what makes it more fun. So now that we have our discarded cards, you still have the cards that we were playing with originally. And what you'll do from this point on is you'll deal out 8 again, and eventually, because that's how the rules are set up, because the number of players tells you the number of cards, and you'll end by going through the entire deck. So basically by the end, you'll have gone through all the cards.
It's at least 2 players, but then up to 6.
Sorry. So when you look at the rules, it has 5-player game.
Okay.
And that'll be 7 cards for each player. And as you can see, the rule book is quite small. I mean, I've seen really young kids play this game. They love it. Very, very popular. But if you have folks that are, if you have a large group that has multiple people, you can get like a party. It's called like a party pack, the Sushi Go. And it provides you with additional cards. And there's some other additional cute little characters that come into play. That way you can expand it to a bigger group. So now that you have your next set, we'll go through this one. I'm not going to tell you guys what I'm getting this time. We'll just go through a round and let folks at home see what I'm picking, and maybe they can clue in as to why. One, 2, 3.
So that's this next to you?
So on this hand, if you wish to use it, you don't have to.
Okay.
You can use it anytime you want. You'll pick this up and then choose 2.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But it's helpful to do it at the beginning when I can grab more cards, and obviously we get down to
right, because usually at the beginning
pickings.
There are more cards that have a higher point value.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Or you can strategically place yourself in a position where you say, okay, well I remember that the hand I just gave up had this card that I want to save up for later.
Okay. And then how do we play? Like, I want to use it this game.
So you say Sushi Go.
Sushi Go.
There you go. And you'll pick it up, put it in your hand, and you'll put down 2. Put them upside down first. Until we show. There we go. All right. 1, 2, 3.
And this stays in the hand.
Correct. Yep, the chopsticks don't go away. So what usually happens at the very end is 2 people, because you both had chopsticks, 2 people are going to get stuck with 0 points because they're going to get the chopsticks at the end. You can't.
Okay.
Sushi Go.
Oh, there you go. Gotta say it louder.
Sushi Go.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Woo! Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Not looking great. Not looking great.
Sushi Go.
Oh, there you go. All right. 1, 2, 3. Ah.
Sushi Go.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Oh no! Okay. So guys, as you can see, I really have one choice, but I've gotten really lucky because it looks like I'm gonna miss one of my items that was worth 10 points. So I'm gonna get 0 points for those 2 cards, but I got lucky there, got this one. Okay. There'd be no point in me choosing this one because the next cards it would only be 2, and it could be something that I don't even need. So I'm gonna choose not to use those.
Sushi Go.
1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3. Oh no! And this is my last card, so I have to take it.
Nice.
All right. So for me, because I didn't get 3 of these sashimis, I don't get the 10 points. They're just discarded, so I don't get to count those. But since I had 2 of these, I get 5 points. And I look to see, all right, I had 4. Everyone else has more maki than me, so this was completely pointless as well. And I get 0 points for that. So for this one, I only had 1 dumpling, so it's only worth 1 point. And I get 6 points for that one. So I went from getting 14 points to 6 points. So as you can see, your point values can change from round to round, and it keeps everything really close. How about you guys? What kind of points did you guys get?
You got 16.
Woo! 6.
15.
And 15 points. That's awesome. And so I got one more pudding,
I bypassed the pudding.
and across the table he has 4. So I know he's forced to be reckoned with pudding-wise. So we'll gather up all these, put them in the discard pile, and go for one more round. All right. So it looks like, when you look at the rest of the cards that are left in the deck, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's not enough to do one more round. So this is going to be the last round for this game. So you can just put those right in the discard pile. All right, ready, guys? Oh, you already picked yours. Okay. So I'm gonna take a note from them last game. Maybe try a different strategy. 1, 2, 3. And we go with the chopsticks. See how that goes.
We're just on the same.
All right. Try something different. Sushi Go. 2. the good thing about Sushi Go is you can change up your strategy from game to game. You think, okay, this time I noticed that people aren't really going for like 1, 2, 3, like going for dumplings or mackies, and this time I'm gonna focus solely on those things and try to get as many points as I can from that.
Sushi Go.
All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, 1, 2, 3.
Sushi Go.
One, 2, 3. All right. So I know there's 2 cards left. And so I know it would make sense to go for this one because I don't have any other ones. So I'm going to pass that one. I'm going to take this one. 1, 2, 3. Maybe I get lucky? No. Chopsticks. All right. So I'll put discarding that because it's not worth any points. My tempura is not worth any points, so I'll discard that. And then I can look to start the count. So I decided to go the dumpling route. I ended up getting 10 points because I had 4 of them, so that's 10. And I looked to see where I ended up on the Mackie. Looks like someone beat me by 1 point, so I get 3 points. So I got 13 points for these cards. How'd you guys do?
I got 11 this time.
16.
22.
Woo!
Nice.
And so that's where the wasabi helps out. You can really amp up your score. So that was an awesome score. So
Just sneak into 2 puddings.
oh, there you
I
go.
know, I
Pop back up.
saw
Got your
that.
6.
All right, guys. Gather all your cards. Discard them. Do you remember your totals?
Oh gosh. No.
It's okay.
It looked like
We can say we wrote them down. But this is where the end part, where the pudding comes into play. So who had the least amount? You had 1. Yeah. So you had 1, so you get -6. So that can really change your position within the game. You got an additional 6 points, but you were already in the lead, so it's okay. You just increased your lead. And that's how you play Sushi Go. What do you guys think?
Awesome.
Great.
Awesome. And then all you do is you shuffle the cards, and you can play again. Awesome. Well, thanks, guys, for sticking around and listening. Please stay tuned for other games we're going to introduce you to.